Right. Get some lighting. Slow rise up with the lighting. That's perfect. Already got a like before I even got it started. It's also amazing. Well, I'm live now, so we'll see. We shall see. Gonna have ourselves a whole session. Who's this? Who's this? What is this? It's TikTok or something? Bijo? No. This is Hi! Come in! Snapchat. I don't want Snapchat. Hi. Come in. Come in. We're going to talk about magical stuff. Is it a magical day yet? Are we going to make it a magical day? If it's not for you yet, let me tell you, it's about to get a whole lot more magic. That's all I got. All I got is magic and amazing ideas and great energy. What do you have? What are you bringing? I got magic. That's what I'm going to stick to because that's what I know. Hey, come on in. Come into High Tarot. Come in. I'm going to get some Facebook friends over here because they like this kind of thing too. I'm so glad you're joining. Please say hi so I can say hi to you. Catch up with my people. I know a couple of my girls who usually come. See if they're showing up today. Love to see you guys. And then we'll get started with, I've got Pendulum and cards. I haven't opened my cards for a couple of days. So whatever's on there has been there for a minute. So let's see. Let's see who's going to be the first one to have a reading. One of the readings from Pendulum or from the cards. So let's talk about reading Pendulum so that I'm telling you what's happening. When it's a circle that like this, circle clockwise, which this is, which means the way that a clock goes on a analog clock, that's a yes. This is a big yes. It agrees with what I'm telling you. So then when it's no, it swings back and forth. And that's a no. And I'll show you no now. Or it'll show you no now. That's a no. And you see my hand's not moving. That's not me. That's the energies, the all, the whatever you believe in. So that's Pendulum. And then we have my Toth deck, which you know is extension of me. That's the tarot. And so if you have a question that requires this kind of an answer, then we'll use this kind of a thing. So we'll see. What do you think? What have you been thinking about today? What's been on your mind? What mirror to the soul do you need? What mirror to the soul do I need? Whew, I have felt not very connected, And the cool news is that even when if I've got my own personal earthly things going on, it does not affect my gift. So I can still share with you. So you get to feel free to ask whatever it is. It's actually healing for me. And I think what happens is when I'm doing this, when I'm working in my spiritual stuff, that's it's bringing my awareness to spirituality, to my spirituality. And so there's like no way I can do it without feeling better on the other side of it. It's fantastic. I always do whenever I read for people. Even if I'm exhausted physically, I like have a better overall peace, because there's this balance in the universe that's always there in your life and in my life and everybody's life. There's just balance. And when you can kind of see it as balance instead of revenge, maybe, whatever other ugly word you might call it, that's a good thing. So I'm going to go ahead and start pulling. I'll wait for, we'll see if we have other people join us. And if we're not, we're just going to have a show and show. Maybe we'll have a show and tell. I'm spreading my cards out, fanning them out in front of me. And I'm going to just ground myself so that when I pull, it'll be the cleanest expression of what the cards want to tell me. So good deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth to release the day so far. In through the nose, Out through the mouth to ground. Try to become really heavy in your seat. And then lastly, in through the nose, out through the mouth to connect. And this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to pull, let's get an active and passive. So here's active. Active. I don't know why this would be active, but it's inverted. It's the inverted pleasure card. So this is saying to curb our carnal dalliances right now. We're supposed to curb them. And passively, that's not the best position to get that card in. Ooh, look at that. Interruption. So that's exactly what this is. So that's what it was talking about. This is a 6 and this is an 8. So this is saying interference, which is, interruptions. And so the reason why we're going to like fast or cessate from a couple different kinds of carnal pleasures is so that we can work past interference. And the theory is that when you are doing something and everything can interfere, everything can distract you from that thing, then you weren't really interested in the thing in the first place. It wasn't actually what you wanted to do. And so there's a reality in there that you need to come to yourself about the truth about what it is that you're doing. So that's what that is. Let's see what else. What do I need to know? The disconnection I'm feeling is palpable and thick. And so what is it that I should be learning from in this moment? What will get the answer across to me? Let's see. Made my stomach hurt. And it would. Because this is a womb. This is called the Aeon. This is about generational curses and generational blessings. It's about the pathology of your people, what's coming actually to you through your DNA. And so right now, with what's going on and the changes that I'm facing and the way that they're playing themselves out, this is about me making sure that my generational stuff gets passed down in the way that I want it to be passed down. So it's like you being where healing started. If you know there's an abnormality in your bloodline, so that's like some behavior that you've seen in uncles and grandparents. You heard stories of them from way back, and it's just something that happens in your family. Whether it's, I've heard it being alcoholism. Sometimes it has to do with like pedophilia and incest within the families. It can be pretty, whatever your bad thing is that runs through your family. Everybody has a bad thing that runs through their family, at least one. At least one. I think we all have all of them. They're just sometimes we can see them, sometimes we can't. But that's what the Aeon is about, is correcting that, fixing it from your standpoint on. It's about the next generations. So that's what that was about. That's what I need to be. So if I was to take the situation and think of it in those terms, in terms of generational, then what would I do generationally to correct it? What would I do generationally to move on? And that's the question. That's what I have to ask me. So what is next? Do we have questions, comments, concerns? Oh, that's a terrible thing. Hold on, I need to fix this. That's a terrible thing. I don't like that at all. Okay. If not, then I'm going to do a chakra reading. I was thinking about doing a chakra reading earlier because I think something weird's going on with my root chakra. So I'm going to pull it and see exactly what information is there that I need to get, because it's been real funky. For about 3 weeks, all root chakra things that has to do with survival, fears, and that kind of thing are like popping up in really strange ways. So I'm going to read my chakra. If you want to read your chakra, let me know which one you want to read. You know that there's 7. There's root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown. Almost missed them, but I got them. So which of those do you think? That didn't want to shuffle? Maybe I don't want to know what's on my root chakra. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna pull. Should I pull for each? I'm gonna pull for each since I don't have any questions yet. I'll pull for each chakra. I'm gonna put them right over here. Okay, we ready? All right. I've already grounded, so I'm gonna use my non-dominant hand. I shook my hands out. I'm gonna take my non-dominant hand. I'm gonna pull one for each chakra. That was my phone. Hold on. Maybe I'm not gonna pull one for each. Oh my goodness. Do you know the tripod I just got like 2 weeks ago has already broken? There is something about tripods and me not being able to own them. I'm just not supposed to for some reason. It's not a tripod girl. Okay, so here we go. We're doing chakra reading, starting with root. So here we go. We're pulling for my root. Hi, everybody who's come in. Maybe I'll pull for our root. What about that? I'll pull our chakras. All right. So our root chakra. That way it's kind of cool. It's a whole group of us. Our root chakra is here. Our sacral chakra, right above your root chakra, is here. Our solar plexus, that's where your emotions sit. That's why you get a pain in your stomach and stuff. Right around there's a lot of energy, emotional energy. Here's solar plexus. Here's heart chakra. Let's get the heart. Everybody hit your like for me. Here's our heart chakra. Here is our throat chakra. Throat chakra. That's our communication. How are we doing with that? Here is our third eye. So we're here where my bindi is. Third eye chakra. And crown right above your head. This one. I think it's these two. Perfect. Okay, so now we have 7. I want to tell you guys that most of these are inverted. There's like 2 cards that are upright out of like 8 because the crown chakra got 2. These are mostly inverted. So we have a lot of clogged chakras. The one chakra that we all have upright at this point is the third eye chakra. Can we read that one first? Is that, should we do that? Or we'll just save it. So, but the only one that's upright so far is the third eye. Everything else is down. So that's 7 cards pointing down, 1 card pointing up, but it's the third eye card. So here we go. Our root chakra right now it's an emotional place. There's a whole lot of emotion. This is the Queen of Cups, so one of the highest Cups cards. And the Queen of Cups, if you can notice that the reflection looks exactly the same in the top. Well, very similar in the top and the bottom. And that's the whole point. It's like as above, so below. It's kind of the phrase that goes along with the Queen of Cups. And what the card is about making sure that your outside matches your inside. And so I think that what it's saying about our root chakra is that the reason why we've got this instability there and this imbalance there is because there's kind of instability and imbalance in our world right now because it's an apocalypse and stuff. So I think that some of the fear that we've kind of been carrying around for about, yes, I am taking questions, that we've been carrying around for about 5-6 months is starting to manifest itself and come out in kind of weirdish ways. So that's the root chakra. Yes, Johnny, you can go ahead and ask. I will happily answer questions. Let's look at, here we go. Let's get our question. I still have our chakras out. So I'm going to do this with a pendulum. What will happen with this November with your connection with Caleb? Libra and a Virgo. Oh, my parents were Libra and Virgo. But she's a Libra and he's a Virgo. Anyway, what will happen this November with you and Caleb? Do you see this big yes? Oh, A Virgo and a Gemini, they don't drive each other crazy. You know, a Virgo and a Gemini might be perfect if it's the right kind. That could be amazing. I wonder which they are. Anyway, for you, that's a big old yay. Perfect. So this is your Caleb. Good things. All good things incoming. All good things incoming. You don't have to worry about that at all. I think you should stick with the relationship. I think you're going to learn a lot from him. You're going to learn a lot together. It's a nice big circle with this like nice speed to it. So it's good timing. It's like good timing. Let's see if it'll be by spring. Will you guys be back together by spring? I felt like it was spring. It does feel like spring. It feels like Marchish. So it'll be through the winter. So buckle down. I don't know if you get yourself a cupping partner, but get warm. It'll be a minute. It'll be when the flowers come back. Okay. We are on our sacral chakra. Ooh, look at that, guys. Sacral chakra is all fear. That is the tiger of fear. And when the card is inverted, that means that the fear is in control. And so we've worried ourselves into such a state that we're actually being controlled by fear right now. So we need to be careful. I don't know what we're doing, but we're being hypnotized by the snake. The altar that's behind her on this card is where she's like, that's where you burn like old identities and things that no longer serve you. But when the tiger of fear is up here and the altar is upside down, like we're still focusing, we're still dealing with these old masks, these old roles that we want to change. Thank you so much, Jenny. Ask whatever question that you have. I'm just running through a chakra spread, read. So on our solar plexus is inverted happiness. I'm so sad. I'll grab your card in just a second, Jenny, look at this. Our solar plexus, it's inverted happiness. That means there's a loss of a lot of relationships. And I've got to tell you, in the last couple of days, I've had some conversations about some terrible breakdowns in relationships. It's a hard time for relationships right now. And it doesn't have anything to do with them. It has to do with us. And so we're kind of like generating and causing this yucky ick that's going on with relationships right now. So hopefully everybody can be patient with each other to get through that. Let me get through these and I'll be right with you, Jenny. So then the heart chakra, inverted strength. So we went from, we've got where we need to start making our outside match our inside, being ruled by fear, losing relationships because of our emotional baggage. And then for the heart chakra, the moon is up here instead of the sun and it's about disempowerment. We've disempowered the heart. So we've like ignored the power of love, the power of what the heart can do. And at this point, it's actually disempowered. So we need to get back to being heart-centered, which you can tell by looking down any street nowadays. The kindness is kind of gone. Then for our throat chakra, going back to the throat, for the throat chakra, this is the inverted Hierophant. And so a Hierophant is really about a role model, finding somebody who is doing the epitome of what it is that you want to do. And we need to do that with our communication. So who is the best communicator you know? What communicator do you admire the most? This week, when you read their autobiography or see if they have an audiobook, or see if there's a way to somehow become a student of that person. And that's what you should be doing with your throat chakra. It's inverted though, so that means it's off balance, right? So we need some guidance to kind of get out of that. Your third eye, the one card that's upright in this whole spread is success. And that's for the third eye, which is right where my bindu is, right? And it's success, the 6 of discs. So this is a material success or resources success. So if we can get ourselves, and you see how it's got that bright yellow in the middle, that yellow is intuition, that is what the third eye is for. So if we can get ourselves lined up, there's success in our third eye. We are hearing and connected with and perceiving what our soul is trying to tell us, what communication from the universe we're supposed to be getting. That's working. Of all the stuff on here, that's a bunch of crap. This is working. Our third eye is working. That's perfect. That's fantastic. And the fact that it's a discs card, which means it's beneficial in resources, is exactly what I need to hear, right? All right. So then here is the crown chakra. And in the crown chakra, we have worry, too much worry. This is the type that starts looking like depression. And then we have the devil card, which means we're taking everything way too seriously. Like suck the juice out of all that is life. And what we need to do is get these turned around. This needs to come back into balance where it's just a thought that we have and then it goes away and we can kind of get on with our lives, because the obsession of this is starting to cause a little bit of depression. And then we need to turn this around where it's just adding fun to something instead of there being absolutely no fun. That it sucks the fun out of actual games. So that's our spread for the chakras. The best thing we got going is that third eye. So if there's anywhere you want to focus and be grateful, it should be all of them because they're all communicating with you. But the one we're getting right now is the third eye. And that makes sense. Look, we're in a tarot session. Okay, so next I'm going to do for Jenny G. What do you need to know in November? Well, first of all, these cards didn't want to shuffle. So let's ground. Deep breath into the nose and out through the mouth. Kind of release that. Release. Let's see what we got for you. What does Jenny G need to know? Jenny, I've got, thank you. I've got inverted, this card is failure. And it's a 7 of discs. And when it comes up inverted like that, it really is a belief system that you've got going on. You are designed, you have it set up so that when you start to go after something that's going to kind of slightly change your education or your home status or your health a little bit, that's going to affect you a little bit. There's a really complicated mechanism that you have set up, defense mechanism, that causes you to go immediately into some kind of horror or terror and it like undermines your ability to go after that thing. So you're scaring yourself out of a lot. And at the base of that, underneath that, is this weird connection to failure. So somewhere along the line, you picked up the idea that failure is associated with it's a confusion. That's why it's hard for me to say what it is. It's you've got something scared you out of success. Like you saw somebody who was successful, but they were really mean or they were abusive, and so then success started being connected with that abuse instead of being its own independent thing. So then fear became something that you became obsessed with, that you're accepting, that you're used to, that you self-sabotage to get to, and that's failure. It's a bad relationship with success is when it's inverted like this. Okay, not bad, but unhealed. And so the idea would be to get back into what that means. Disconnect the idea of pain with pleasure in that sense. So that's not something that you are uncomfortable going after. So you have to get used to the idea of doing, that anyway kind of thing. Alan Van Zandt says you're not really living if there's not a little bit of pee running down your leg. She was talking about being a little bit a little bit fearful of what you try. Try something that, take a risk is what she was saying, which I also agree with. But man, I haven't been acting like it. I'm glad I pulled that card for you, because that reminded me, and hopefully you, that we're supposed to be taking risks. And who hasn't gotten some weird ideas about success? Because usually, we've all met rich people who were assholes, or married people who hated each other. Like, we've all met what success was supposed to be, and then we know the truth, and we're like, that's not what you said it was. So anyway, questions. We have any more? Yeah, right. Feel free to ask more than one. We've got a light We've got a light. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm healing right now. I was healing for a while, but it feels like I hit some kind of a plateau. I'm sure I'm healing. I shouldn't say that. I'm sure I am. Who's coming towards you? I'll pull a card for it, but it feels like there's some stuff in there. Do you have step people in your life? Step something? Step auntie? Step. We'll talk about step people. Let me pull a card and see. It felt like a step, not adopted. It feels like step. Step people. Something odd in that relationship. I can't. Stepdad, step aunt. I don't know. I stopped thinking about it because I thought it was wrong, so I sent it away. Forget that. Let's go on to getting your card. Who's coming towards you? Sorry. Who's coming towards you? Okay. I sent it away too fast. I'm still learning my gift. Ooh. I hope he looks just like this. I hope he looks just like this. I hope he's golden skinned and nude and riding a chariot when you see him. But this is like young, fresh, passionate. Young, fresh passion. The card is about going towards your dharma, running right after it. But like I said, I hope he shows up just like this, with the leash and everything. I thought it was a whip in his hand. I was like, oh, is that a whip? It's a leash. I mean, say, let me come back to you. Dharma. This is about getting your dharma together. This is really the time when you take those big, risky, and this card jumped out for you too, which is, oh, good, prudence. That goes right with it. This card is really about like really taking the real life steps towards your whatever your dharma is, whatever it is that you're trying to be working out. We take a lot of BS steps. And we're like, all right, I'm going to sign up for the class, and then you get the first word, and it's like, that's enough. It's not enough. You gotta like get in the way of what it is that you want. Get in the way of it. Get around people who do it. If you don't know what it is, just start with what you. Good. That's great. That's great. That's great. If you don't know what it is, just start with what you would do for free. What you would get on YouTube like this and do for 5 hours. What would it be? Or if it's on video. It might not be something that's on video. And then. Good. That's fantastic. That's really great. It's really great. And then prudence is about taking care of your every individual part of yourself. You see how each flower has its own beautiful disc inside of its own beautiful reproduction system is really what it is. And then it has this one leaf is assigned to each thing. It's like cells, right? They have their own individual compartments, their own sunlight, their own food. Each one is honored individually. And we have to do that with the beautiful aspects of ourselves. And if we were to do that, we wouldn't have time to worry, wouldn't have time with the negative aspects. If we could take the time with each aspect of us, that just the parts we like. Do you know you can just focus on the parts you like? And healing can happen. Not that you don't have shadow, and not that there's not things to work through, but there's a healing in the very intricate individual self-care. The same kind of self-care that you give to each individual kid that you have, right? You can't treat Johnny like Jackie, even though they're related, because they're not the same kid, right? Same kind of thing. This is all the different yous. So let's say we have 8 personalities. Is 8 enough? What do you guys think? I think 8's enough. Let's say there's one. You want to try to list them? Okay, let's try to list the 8 different I'm gonna fail after like 4 or 5. But say there's 8 different personalities, 8 personalities and talents. Let's say that they're both. If we were to spend, let's say we're going to spend a day in each, we'd be into next week before you're done. There's so much that it takes to actualize. Then you have to consider the earth. What is the environment that you're in? Are you in an environment where each of these individual things can grow and be divine and individual? How much sun are you getting? This whole thing is bathed in sun. It's like a deep fall picture, right? Where's the water? It doesn't look dry. There's green and lush on the ground, so it must have enough water. There's a Virgo sign here. It's a nice, that means, that tending to, that nurturing kind of nature. And the sun. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful prudence card. Did I tell you what is prudence? Prudence is the 8 of discs. You have a Virgo moon. That's beautiful. I don't know what my, oh, I do. I thought it was 1 and it turns out to be something else. I thought it was something, but it turns out to be a Gemini because my Gemini moon makes me talkative. That's how I remembered it. That's Gemini. So cool. Thank you so much for coming and sharing. Thank you for whoever's hanging out. You've stuck with me this whole time. I wonder if you're like a YouTube have to watch me person or not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know, because I don't think you like talk when you come in, which is cool. That's up to you. You do you thing. You do you. What other readings do I have? Do I have anybody else who wants to pop over and get look at a card real quick, or maybe we can do some yes nos. I need to understand the karma that's happening right now. I need to understand. I think the question will be how to balance out. So let's ask. I think the question is how to out, because it feels like there's a lot of imbalance. I can feel the imbalance. When I just did the chakra reading, every single card was inverted except for the third eye. So there's something about imbalance that's going on. Let me see if tarot can clear that up for me, right? Should. I'll sell it. The imbalance. I get the opposite of what she got. That's because I'm not doing this. I'm doing the opposite of going after my dreams and being vulnerable and open to the process. I got cold and scared and ran to what I know. And this card is telling my business. Because what it says is here's all that energy and here's all that like want. And instead of doing that with it, sending it all out to all points of the universe, I denied it. Ugh. Well, that's something to deal with. That would explain every part of what's happening. That would explain all of it, right? So then what's next? You don't just leave yourself in a pile of realization. Well, you don't have to with tarot. You can go further and be like, all right, then what? What do I do then? Thanks for calling me all kinds of bitches and hoes. What do I do? Okay, let's see what's next. And what we get is futility. So next is to look at everything that for which I have no return on investment. And there's a lot of those things. So it's time to stop with wasted energy and stop with like sending good after bad, I think is how another. Neptune, everything seems to be clouded by a film or veil. I just don't know what I really want. Venus, but it's just too good to be true. Mars, I haven't the energy. There's no time. I'm already too old. Jupiter, that's too much good at once. I can never cope with so much success. And then Mars, Mercury, I don't, but I just can't convey it properly. And Saturn, it's simply too much trouble. It takes too long. So then the question becomes, are your fears having nothing to do? Your fears have nothing to do with reality, it says. Wake up and see what's really happening. In what areas of your life do you diminish yourself with your own limited ideas? What are your constricting belief systems? Draw another card asking the question, how will my life look when I drop my doubts? How will my life look when I drop my doubts? How will my life look when I drop my doubts? What a good question. Let's hope it's good. Okay. The answer is the Queen of Wands. So once I drop my doubts, then I will have learned from my mistakes. She's a pretty cool queen. The queen I usually relate to, the Queen of Pentacles, but the Queen of Wands is in control of her energy. She controls what she does with her energy, which is a pretty cool trick, man. I don't know that I've ever mastered that, but that's what it looks like that's what I look like when I drop my fears. And I get a whole lion out of it. That's pretty fucking fantastic. So that's a great card. She's beautiful. She is about having learned from mistakes. So what the old folks say, act like you know, is what I need to do. I think that's a beautiful, beautiful card. Beautiful. You get to go from futility to the Queen of Wands. I'm all about it. She's fucking sadistic, man. Maybe we'll pull a couple more and then I'll jump off of here. Thanks for joining and watching and all of that and hanging out. I haven't pulled any debauchery or anything I have to be ashamed of yet. Those cards. Jakari the Future. Hey, you are, but there's still time. Do you want to ask a question? Jakari. I like your name. Jakari. Jakari. Who's coming towards you romantically? Okay. We just had one of those. Did I answer it? I don't remember. All right. Who's coming toward you romantically? Let's see. So it's somebody that you don't know, and I feel like, because this is new beginnings and breakthroughs and stuff, I feel like the relationship's new and fresh, but the person, I believe she's a she, so I hope you're into she's. Or the being has a lot of feminine energy, but I think it's actually a female. She is really, really hippie, meaning having hips, like shaped like a Coke bottle or Fender guitar, what do they call it? She's very curved, like shaped like that, and she has very natural hair. So it's not going to be like overly processed blonde or not even a lot of braids like this. She has real pretty fluffy hair. And there's a little bit of color in it, but she's really pretty. Do you know what video popped in my head? Usually when I'm communicated with like this, when you ask me something specific about like what does somebody look like or what do they do, it was the video for You Should Be Here by Raphael Sadiq. The girl in that video, she looks a lot like her. So the main girl in the video, the one who actually goes up to his place. So there you go. You have a real good picture of her. That's who she's gonna look like. Just like that chick. Oh, and the reason that we know she's new is because we got the full card, so that's the beginning of a relationship. It's brand new. I don't think that you know that person, that you've ever seen them before. But I feel like you're gonna know them when you see them, or almost instantly. Almost instantly. Oh, is it Mackenzie? I don't know. Let's see. That'll be the second time I've heard. That's the second time I've heard Mackenzie today. So that's interesting. Oh. Good grief. Look, can you read it? Jakar, do you know that back and forth is no and a circle is yes? Look, you read it yourself. That's a big yes. But it says you don't know her, so I don't know. That's confusing. Yeah, right? Maybe there's something you don't know about her. That's a big yes. It's actually, you know what? To tell the truth, it's actually oblong. So that's a conditional yes. So it's a big yes. It was, but then it kind of went oblongish. So there's a little bit more information we're going to be getting from her. Ah, well, we'll see. I want to see her, especially if she looks like that girl. That girl's pretty amazing. she's not my confusion girl though, because I'm like completely straight. If there was ever a chance for that to not be the case, it would have to be the girl on the Outcast video. That woman, she confuses me. Ever since the first time I saw that video, she's confused me. Every time I see it, I'm just like, it's confusing. I'm not sure how I feel. What else? Chikari, hit me with another one. Or whoever else is in here. Let's go. Let's get some questions. Let's ask some deep, soul-shaking stuff. Why not shake our souls? You know? Like the world's on fire. Let's shake our souls. What is a deep, super deep question? I wonder about that. What are my deep questions that I'm not like asking that I need to know the answers to? I don't usually drink on camera. All right. That's tea, by the way. It is not Hennessy. I don't think it's the color of that. Doesn't it look like green tea? It's green. It's tea. What else do we have? All right. Well, I'll pull from me. If y'all are thinking, I'll think of one. I asked, what will my life look like when I drop my doubt and I got that beautiful Queen of Wands. So what's the path, right? How do I get from doubt, futility? How do I get there from futility to the Queen of Wands? Please, if you haven't hit the like and subscribe stuff, please do that. Sorry, my screen's doing weird stuff. Okay. What was I gonna say? What am I pulling? Oh, how do I get there? The path from futility to the Queen of Wands. What's the path that I go along? So this is the Knight of Cups. And he's romantic and optimistic, and he's like the most romantic, optimistic person that you could kind of think. It's kind of like Pepe Le Pew times 1,000. He just walks around in love. He loves so much that he's romantic. And that's very similar to my actual personality when I'm not bitter. And this card popping up now when I say, like, how do I get from futility to the Queen of Wands, which is what happens when I drop my doubt that we like looked at earlier. And it's saying the way that I do that is through returning to my natural, optimistic, romantic self, which seems easier said than done. I don't know if it is easier said than done because I don't want to give it that much power, but it seems like it, you know? So there's that. Name. Who's mine? The one in the video I was talking about? There's two different videos. But I don't know about a name. I'm not sure. What else? Do we have some more fun questions? You know, this has been on for quite some time. I cannot believe the woman's name for you. No, I was comparing her to the lady on the woman in the video with "You Should Be Here" video, because that's who it seemed like she looked like. Yours, and then mine, the girl I like, is on a Outcast video. I wish I have a video. I wish I could do the thing where I could turn around and like play the video like while I'm doing YouTube. I don't know how to do that yet. That would be great. That'd be great. I could do my whole sessions with just videos. So in between, when people are asking questions, like when we're waiting, we could just be rocking out to some Chris Brown or something fun. Okay, I'm gonna do like 2 or 3 more minutes. We'll see what else we have going on. Ooh. This whole thing was a mess. I'm taking this off. Wait just a second. Let me get out of this. I think that's insane. So I'm coming out of that. And then let's stick over here. Question. Jakari, you'll have to explain your name to me. What does that mean? What does Jakari the future mean? Let's see what else we need to do. What else do we need to know? What else do we need to know? Who's here and who will come? Not just for who's here, but who will come and watch later. What else do we need to know? It's fighting me. I was just talking about this card the other day. So this card is the Temperance card, or art, and it's really about work-life balance. And when you notice it, the lion that's here, it's a that white thing is actually a lion, but he's all his color is gone and stuff because he's overgiven of himself and he's exhausted. And then his friend the Phoenix is on the other side, and they're like putting together, they're making a magical brew. It's all about balance. And then the yin yang symbol is like 75 times all over the card. So it's really about balance, and it's about balancing out your pleasure and your pain. You know, we got the devil card earlier on the third, or on the crown chakra, and it was about, you know, making sure that you're not draining the life out of life by being so serious that there's no fun at all. And so the art card reminds us that too, to make sure that you're balancing out your tasks with fun so you don't fall into depression. Hey man, when you have that thing on your heels, you will run in the other direction. Depression is a terrible, ugly place to be and go. So that's what we need to be reminded of at this point. I hope that that's helpful. I hope you enjoyed hanging out. I don't think I'm saving this one. Mostly because I don't know if I want to go back and look at like how sad I was. A couple months from now, this will seem very what's the word? Feudal. Feudal, I think. But I got some good information. I got some good information from the cards about what I need to do next and kind of just like figure out how to get back to my bouncy self, because I think maybe the world needs my bounce. It needs yours too. So if you think of a question after the session, whoever's hanging out, announced or unannounced, what did Lonnie B call people who peekaboo bitches? Lonnie B, I'm gonna have to link him down here in my stuff. He says, good girlfriends is the people who follow him, or good girlfriends. And he says, and peekaboo bitches, and that's people who come in but don't speak. Love him. Anyway, peace and love, guys. I enjoyed hanging out. I hope you did too. And I'll probably pop on at more inappropriate times for inappropriate lengths of time. Peace and love. Peekaboo bitches.